what was playing in here before I started this just now? Like, are you guys able to hear if you're in the waiting room what is happening? I know you can sort of see it, right? There's like a shadowed version, like looking in. Can anyone confirm or deny? How's everybody doing? I just took a big nap, and I don't know. I can never fully tell if naps are like helpful or like absolutely destroy my motivation to do anything after them, because I almost was like, let's just not do a stream. I'm just gonna just lay here and lay here, and that's gonna be it. But what's up, everybody? Hello. Your like comments are just now starting to roll in. I'm gonna pop out the chat, do all the normal stuff that we gotta do here, and then I'm gonna. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to share this live stream, as you should. Share this live stream and let's get more people in here. I'm gonna like bump this into Discord, a couple of different Discords. Is everybody doing okay? Has anyone else adopted many daytime naps since we all started getting quarantined? Spine bag, more like pline bag. Drinking coffee in a desperate attempt to wake myself the fuck up. Okay. Live stream, baby. Baby spine handbag stream. Okay, now I'm going to do a very risky thing and share this in some other Discord channels that are not my own. Let's see, fashion. Live stream just started. Come hang out and talk about clothes. I wish I had access to more emojis on desktop. Maybe I do. Man, I run a fucking Discord server. One would think that I would be slightly more accustomed to the Discord ways. All right, there we go. Plugged it in. So we have some topics that we're gonna cover. The one that I kind of insist that we cover in greater detail is this baby spine handbag thing, because I have thought about this so much, like way more than a normal person should. Hello, everyone. Dang, I'm still so incredibly sleepy. Let's see. Genesis said, I fully don't want to talk about it. I'm hopefully going to take a little bit of a different direction than like we took on the Discord recently. Thanks, JJ. Also, hello to JJ Duncan, Scum, Cameron, Lucas Crowley, Genesis, what's good? Evan, Coulsome, Henry, undoubtedly so. Colin. Dankin? Dankin? Is your name actually Dankin? Huh, Dankin. Hunter, Petrock, Cardell, Colin, James, Eve, Jay, J to the action, accent, J to the accent. That's pretty good. And Colin, hello. And John, fresh cut? No, I cut this like 2 weeks ago, guys. This is like a lot of growth on here right now. Glah. See? Do you see all the growth? And Jaboris and Michael. Michael Hode. What's up, Michael Hode? Me and Michael Hode met kind of not randomly, I guess, because I like just posted on my story like, hey, I'm walking around Soho. Whoever wants to like hang out, like come meet up with me. And then I was walking around and I think we were in Tomorrowland. It was one of the boutiques. And I started talking to like a person that worked there, and then you joined the conversation. And then like in the middle of the conversation, you were like, I'm Michael. And I was like, oh my gosh, how long have you been standing there, Michael? It was it was cool. You're a cool dude, and you work at a really freaking cool store. I wish I had gotten to spend more time in there. Am I in quarantine? Kind of in quarantine. Because I have to keep my job and the channel separate, I can't really go into detail about the nature of my quarantine, but I'll say that I'm sort of in quarantine. Things are much quieter in my life now than they were before, so that's one thing. But I'm not quarantined the way that like people in like New York or San Francisco are quarantined. What's up, Russia? Russian character name, man. Okay, let's talk about the baby spine handbag thing. So this has become like a massive meme at this point. But for those of you who do not know, because I was actually talking to a fashion writer last night who did a story about the person that all of this centers around, did a story about them a couple of years ago, and they had not heard about this. And I was like, oh, well then this is gonna seem kind of like I just brought up like a needlessly gruesome thing for the heck of it, but I promise this is like a meme right now and that like a bunch of people are talking about it. And I explained, and she was like, holy shit, that's horrifying. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I thought you knew already. I wasn't trying to be needlessly gruesome, I'm sorry. But yeah, so a guy who is, my understanding, like, so his name's Arnold Putra, and he's super duper into fashion, and his family is very wealthy, and maybe he independently is very wealthy, I don't know. But he buys an enormous amount of designer clothes. So this is like, one person made a joke that he's single-handedly keeping Boris Bidyan-Sabiri in business, that his family is single-handedly keeping Boris Bidyan-Sabiri in business. He's a huge fan of Vetements. He's a huge fan of Balenciaga. He's a really huge fan of Rick. He's friends with Michelle Lamy. He's like photographed very often with Michelle, like hanging out in Paris and stuff. At this point, like a lot of what I'm gonna say is sort of like rumors, because there's so many things about this that from like a journalistic standpoint, like haven't been fact checked and that we like really just don't know anything about. But one person threw out that they were like, yeah, he's he can't come into the United States. He's banned. He himself is a Indonesian citizen, but he was trying to bring, according to this person, animal remains into the United States and got caught by customs, and they were like, you are banned from the United States. I didn't even know that was something that you could be banned from the United States for, but apparently you can. I guess if you were like trying to bring in like the horn of a rhino or something, I guess they would probably stop you at customs and be like, is this a rhino horn? And you'd be like, no. And we're like, what is this, sir? And it's like, it's a replica of a rhino horn. I'm like, I don't think so, sir. This looks pretty convincingly like a rhino horn to me. Do you have anything you want to tell me about this rhino horn? It's a replica of a rhino horn. And then apparently he can't come in the U.S. anymore. So, whoa, I just yanked my charger out. Hang on. Guys, I just castrated myself. Hang on. This is gonna be tough because I have my charger plugged in down there, but I'm a very finicky foot person. My foot really likes to move if I'm seated in chairs. That's one of the big reasons why I'm seated on the floor for most of the channel. Actually, is that weird? Is it like unnerving to anyone that I am like seated in a chair throughout these? It's kind of weird, isn't it? I think it's just because I don't own any comfortable chairs. Like I own a couch I really like, but I'm mostly like laying down on that couch. Like Lindsay and I are battling for dominance so that we can be the one like fully laying on the couch. It's very, very comfortable. But like, I don't know, like we just never like invested in chairs that are like worth sitting in. We have chairs where it's like, yeah, because like to use a computer, you kind of need to have a chair. But like these were like free, I think. Or we got them at a thrift store. They were given to us. I'm not sure. Not a fantastic chair. It's more of like a kitchen, like a kitchen table kind of chair. I don't know. Anyway, Arnold Putra, yeah, and like most of his Instagram account, which is now private because I imagine he is getting an enormous number of people who are just kind of like, I haven't heard of you before 20 minutes ago, but I'm here to tell you that it is not acceptable what you did to that baby. But so that was at least an understandable move that he changed his profile to private. But this is in no way ever going to turn into a defense of what Arnold did with this. I'm just kind of exploring the issue a little bit more. But most of his Instagram is just devoted to him doing these like kind of little art projects that revolve around clothes. Like him being like a extremely expressive consumer of luxury fashion goods. So like he seems to have this like really big fascination with indigenous tribal culture, which does, I mean, to his credit, which does seem to be a genuine fascination. Like he truly seems to enjoy learning about these people and like going and buying stuff from them and learning about what they do. I don't know. That seems to be a genuine thing that he really loves doing and seems to be what he spends most of his time doing, honestly. Like if he's not like traveling around going to like fashion related things, he seems to be like hanging out in some country with indigenous people, or at least visiting areas where indigenous people are. So anyway, the controversy came because he posted on his website where he tries his hand at designing fashion things, which is, from what I can tell, not a super, it's not very good at it. It looks like somebody who has a lot of money to spend and is a really big fan of Carol Christian Powell, but, you know, he's not a fashion designer. It's, a lot of the stuff is, hang on, let's see, Arnold Putra. Because I remember like thinking like, because I remember when I first saw that picture of that bag, before I like even knew what it was, like I was like, oh, it's supposed to be like a human spine. But I remember thinking it was really cool looking. Like I was like, wow, what a striking looking bag. That leather is beautiful. Wow, like that's a really interesting piece. Is this like a Carol piece or something? But then you like go to his website and you look at the other stuff and it kind of makes me wonder if maybe he just kind of got a good photograph of that bag, because these other pieces look like ass. This is really bad. We got the funnel neck pig suede vest, and this just looks like, I really like Rick Owens and I'm a freshman at like RISD, and look at my like midterm projects. Like it's rough. Then we got a pigskin leather straight jacket. Also dumb. Like I don't know how to describe these to you other than just the fact that it's just kind of like, this looks like somebody who was able to buy some fairly expensive leathers and then like gave people very vague instructions, like based on some like weird drawings, and like showed them a lot of pictures of Carol Christian Powell stuff, and we're just like, just do it like this, do it like this. And one of them is supposed to be a body bag, and it zips all the way over you, and it's very baggy, and you're supposed to be able to unzip the face part and be like, surprise, here I am. This is all made of pigskin with a raw edge finish. And I don't know. All of his clothes look like ass. I have not seen anything on here on his website, The Unconventional, that doesn't just make me like want to kind of groan. It's all very, very bad. But yeah, supposedly what happened is that he traded some fake watches, some fake luxury goods to some people who were traded fake luxury goods in exchange for a already deceased child's remains, and then got the spine and then made this bag. So that would be wrong. Now on his Instagram, he's claiming that everybody is, quote, super gullible, and that the spine was medically, quote, medically sourced with paperwork. And if that is the case, then I'd like to see this paperwork. I did not know that you could recreationally purchase things from, I mean, I don't know. I want to see the paperwork. I'd love to see the paperwork. Doesn't seem like a very difficult thing to post. Doesn't seem like there'd be any risk in posting. It's not like it's your social security card on there. So like, I don't know. If it's there, show the paperwork. That'd be a great relief. If because it is. I mean, whether or not this is like, I'm okay with this, I love this, I, Bliss Foster, approve of the Baby Spine handbag now, or and whether anybody else approves of the Baby Spine handbag, it is quite a different thing to have gone to a place that does some kind of medical examination thing or whatever and been like, hey, if I give you $5,000, can I have a whole completed human spine? And they say like, sure. And you get to pick one out and they give you a receipt and you have like a, 30-day return period. And like that is quite a different thing than paying an indigenous people in fake luxury goods in exchange for one of their dead children. That, quite a different thing. Quite a different thing. We had a discussion on the private Discord, which may be accessed if you sign up for the Patreon at www.patreon.com/blissfoster. Do so today. We were having a discussion about this that, what's up, Mariana? Dang, we got a lot of Russian people in the chat. Russian, by the way, this is like totally unrelated, but Russian is like my favorite language to listen to of all time. Like, I think Russian is like, just by its sound, it is the prettiest language. I love Russian. Very, very pretty. We had a discussion on the Discord about whether or not this is okay, and we basically came to the universal agreement that it's like, it is not okay to do the fake luxury good thing. But then we started talking about like human remains as decoration, and like, is that okay, and why is that not okay? And most of it seemed to come down to like, it seems like it's not okay because of issues of like consent and stuff. And if someone did consent before dying to having their remains used for decorative purposes, then that is okay. But then like even the people who were like, I don't think this is okay. What's up, Axel? Axel lives in Iceland. That's cool. Even the people who were like, I do think it's okay to use human remains because after a person is dead, they no longer have the same autonomy that you would have as a living, conscious being. One of the people who made that argument conceded that he's like, I understand that the argument that I am making could also mean that it's okay to fuck dead people. And I don't think it's okay to fuck dead people, but I'm not sure how to make that distinction. So maybe if I just say like, I think it's perfectly fine to use like human remains for decorative purposes, because I don't believe that a dead corpse has the same autonomy that a human person means, but no fucking dead people. It's like, I don't know how to draw that line in a way that's useful, in a way that you can like argue, which I thought was a very funny way of putting it, and very self-aware. What else was I gonna say about this? Yeah, Arnold Putra, show papers. Interestingly, you might have already known about Arnold Putra and not been aware of it. He was the one that showed up to the Vet Mall show a couple of years ago in a full suit of armor as a guest. Like, he wasn't anything in the show. He had nothing to do with the show itself. He was just attending, and yeah, he was in a full suit of armor and like had like insane clown posse makeup on his face, and yeah, it was awesome. He likes to show up to runway shows like masked. He likes to like come and not have his face showing, which is kind of cool. He like had this very, very trippy. He had a very trippy thing to a recent Vet Mall show or Rick Owens show, I can't remember. But he was dressed as this like, he had a mask of like a, you know those like fake political masks that you would wear where it's just kind of like, look at me, I'm George Bush, blah, blah, blah. Hey, new Patreon, what's up, Albert Trez? Thank you so much. Albert is a soldier and a good person. And why can't you all be more like Albert? Why can't you all be like your brother Albert? Yeah, there's like a Hulk type mask, but it was supposed to be Jeffrey Epstein, but it was completely purple. And he also brought a replica doll of himself. And And then also there was like a doll of Epstein, like an action figure style doll of Epstein. And he just like carried them around the entire time while wearing this huge purple mask of Jeffrey Epstein. And yeah, he has extremely big rich kid energy, extremely. Except he's like my age. He's like 30 or 31 or something. Lucas, we're talking about Arnold Putra, the guy that did the baby spine handbag thing. What else? Hang on. There was a couple of things because like I really hate that, like the questionable morality of this, because like he's one of the only like purely consumers of fashion that I'm like, wow, this is like actually very artful. He seems to be truly being expressive with the way that he is consuming fashion, which is hard to say about a lot of people. For a lot of people, usually just because of budgetary limits, it's like really all I can do is like kind of buy what I can afford and then occasionally take like a fit pick in it, and it's like, check it out, I really like Drees. But this guy's able to do like art projects with his outfits, because he's able to afford these actual pieces that are just like absolutely buck wild. He's able to get the like straight off the runway shit that is like truly very representative of like a brand's vision. And because he travels to all of these just fucking wild places, I wish I could screen share some of this stuff because I don't know where any of this shit is. I mean, he like usually talks about it in the description and stuff, but like almost all of these places that he is, I'm just kind of like, I cannot believe that that place is real. And it's just like somewhere in like, you know, Chad, the nation of Chad or something. Let's see, I'm trying to find an example of other crazy stuff he's shown up to runway shows in. So yeah, here he is as Epstein. What's the description say? Yeah, and he's at the Vetements show and he's posing with all the lookalikes of the celebrities like Mike Tyson and Angelina Jolie and Kate Moss and stuff. Pretty fucking crazy. He like made a short film that was not very good. He like had a recent show where he did these facial prosthetics that he had like huge, massive gauges in like his ears and mouth and stuff, and they were like literally just like face prosthetics that he had like made for him, and that's like how he showed up to this show. I can't see which runway show this is. Not sure. There was another one. It was a Rick show. He also collects like luxury watches, obviously, and he or maybe they're fake. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Maybe he just collects fake ones because they're cheaper. Not really sure. There's one where he shows up to a Rick show, and he's holding a dildo that's shaped like a fist, and so he's like holding that, and he has on this like Rolex, and he has a matching Rolex on the dildo, and also like a really cool outfit, and that was like his accessory. And like I don't know. There's a lot of stuff here where I'm just kind of like, dang, I really like this guy. I wish he was not doing this like supposedly horrible thing. I say supposedly only just in case there is more information about this that is truly unknown, because I would hate to like go on record being like, I think he did all this like awful shit, and then, you know, in 2 days he's like, fine, here are the papers, oh my gosh, and he posts them, and then everybody's like, oh fuck. But yeah, style very on point. Ethical morality rating possibly very low. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, thank you, Albert Trez, again for joining the Patreon at patreon.com/blissfoster. Someone said, I think his dad's a billionaire, but then like other people that I was talking to about him said like, oh yeah, I followed Arnold for years and I've seen him at parties and stuff. Like his dad apparently is super, super into clothes too, which that would be fucking sick if like your billionaire dad who like owns like a wealth management fund, or I don't know what the fuck ever whatever he does, like billionaire dad who's like running a bank and also is just kind of like, I love Boris Bidyan Sabiri. That would be sick. Let's see. Someone said, what a giga Chad. It's almost like the nation of Chad, you say. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Yes, everyone. It's like safe to assume it's his parents, right? Yes, there's not very many 30-year-olds who have made enough money to leisurely travel the world while they buy out entire fashion collections and post them on Instagram. Not too many 30-year-olds in that position. So yes, you may safely assume it is his mom and his dad who are footing the bill for many of these things, or giving him the foundation of wealth to do other things that make him money. Does anyone want fruit snacks? Ooh. Well, now 2 of those fruit snacks are not available. Unless I eat it off the floor. Okay. Switching to La Croix, because we're a little more awake now. I know. They're Welch's too. Those little packs are so annoying because I want to eat more of them. And so I opened up like 4 or 5 packs and put them in this bowl. Hey, Genesis is going to the Margiela exhibition today. Where are you that there's a Margiela exhibition that is open and available to go to? Genesis, by the way, runs a really cool YouTube channel. He's very knowledgeable. Everyone should check him out. It's in Melbourne. Well, I can probably swing by. He said, I'm having the gallery opened for me. That is a pretty strong flex. Why don't you go ahead and explain how that happened, please? Explain yourself. That is pretty sick. I want to see this explanation. It's a tiny gallery. Okay. Does it? It's got to focus on his clothes, right? Not on his artwork, because there's not a lot of artwork to. Yeah, actually, please do take a lot of photos, and if you can, try to take some photos of like here's this piece, click, and then like go. Make sure you get in on any relevant details about like stitching and like buttonholes, and just get as close as you can to a lot of those things, because many of them we do not have detailed photography of. And so if we could get like construction detail shots, that would be, at least for me, very helpful. I would really love to see that. But yeah, please explain how you got this tiny gallery to open just for you. Rare Books Paris, Instagram. Used to work for Margiela for 10 years and is from Melbourne. Dang. I love Rare Books Paris. That's a very cool Instagram page. I have inquired about a few of the things that they have posted before when they are Margiela related. And then they're like 512 euros. And I'm like, thanks so much for letting me know. Have a good day. All right. Moving on. Sign up for the Patreon. Get on the Discord. Become a better person. Get more fashion friends. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. Here's a good question that was submitted by a Patreon supporter that I really, really like. I think BMX rider and Christian are speaking a different language. I don't know what that is. You guys will have to fill us in on what you're talking about later. So someone said, if you could only wear one designer for the rest of your life, who would it be? I think that this question gets asked a lot, but I don't think people pay enough attention to what the details of the question are. So here's how I like to phrase this question to people to make it a really like compelling, interesting question. Here we go. If you had to, every season, so every 6 months, you had to throw away all of your regular clothes, except for socks and underwear, and you had to bring in the new season by any designer in the world, and you could only wear that new season for that 6 month period, and then after that 6 month period you had to switch to the new season again and again and again, and you had to commit to that, we will say, for 5 full years, so 10 seasons worth of stuff. Who would you wear? Because saying like for the rest of your life, in my opinion, that doesn't really work, because many of these companies that we love so much truly are probably not going to exist anymore in 20 years. Someone said easily Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova Men's all the way. This live stream is supported by Fashion Nova Men's. Okay, Michael said CDG. That's not gonna work. You gotta pick a branch of the CDG tree. Pick a branch, Michael, pick a branch and hang from it. Ellie said undercover. That's risky. That's a risky one. Not very warm. Ellie hopefully does not live in a super cold climate. No, so Chelsea said no one brings price into this equation. Most people can't afford new season every 6 months. I'm saying you're being given it. You have to throw away all of your clothes and you are given a full new season. And if there's like an accessory that you really like, where it's like, oh, this scarf is so cool, it would look really cool if I was like wrapping it around both of my arms too. You can have as many of that scarf as you want. But at the end of the 6 months, you gotta give it away or something. And then you gotta bring in a new one. Okay. Arturo would take Zorro. Yeah, figures. Arturo would take Zorro. Get in the sea, Arturo. Get out of town. Get in the sea, Arturo. I was like strangely proud of that tweet when I sent that to you. Where I was like, get out of town, Arturo. Get all the way out of town, Arturo. Get in the sea, Arturo. It's because Arturo was being mean about Jacques Mou. Someone said GTA online modded account. Okay. Does this include different lines of the same designer? No. You have to pick. You have to pick. Like CDG, you got to pick a branch of the CDG universe. You cannot have both Rick Owens and Dark Shadow. You cannot have Calvin Klein jeans. Well, wait. Yeah, you can in that example. If there's like an offshoot line that is only for like a specific thing, then yeah, you can have like the accessories by that. Or no, or like if there's just like a jeans line, yeah, you can have their jeans too, but like, yeah. You cannot get two like things that are massive universes unto themselves and get them both together. No. Uniqlo U. That's a interesting answer. Matty will be maybe kind of bored for the rest of his life. Prada. That's one that I don't know if I would go with personally. I like things by Prada. I do not typically enjoy head to toe Prada. Well, wait, Donna, if we're saying women's Prada, maybe that would be cooler. I don't know what women's Prada looks like really. Maybe that is cool. Ellie said, I have full faith in June. You can have full faith, but you'll have full faith while being pretty cold. There's not a lot of insulated stuff in undercovers clothes. Someone said RAF. I'll take some RAF. So that means that lately you'd be getting like, here's 7 articles of clothing. It's the full season, full line, full collection. Polar skate. Good call, Lucas. Capital but not capital country, said Martin. The Row or Bodie? Drew said the Row or Bodie, which is like, I want either ice cream or vegan hamburgers. Either ice cream or vegan hamburgers. I'm having trouble deciding. That's a very austere choice A and an extremely crazy choice B. I cannot imagine only wearing Bodhi head to toe only every single day. That would be exhausting. I feel like that is so extreme that you would be suffering like social consequences of having done that. You still have to go to like your job and stuff. You still have to like show up and live your regular life, by the way. Just a heads up. I have an answer to this, I'm not gonna say it right now. Capital, not capital country. For people who just showed up, it's what fashion brand would you pick where you had to wear the current season by that fashion brand for 5 straight years, head to toe. And like every 6 months you had to throw away all of the existing clothes that you had, and you got brought in new collection by that designer, and you had to only wear those clothes for 6 months. And you still get fidgeting with my ring in it. Excluding socks and underwear, obviously. Scum said Hanes. Someone said Icy Miyake Man. Dion is gonna go nude. Jaden said, dang. All right, Dankum is gonna wear Homme Plus only. That's a brave choice in the CDG tree. I feel like most guys would go with like Homme Du, or just like CDG But Homme Plus, going straight to the stuff that's designed by Grandmama Ray. It's very artful stuff, but it's a risky move. Andrew Baker asked is this my question? Are you Hey, are we still back? We still here? Can everybody hear me? Y3, someone said, thinking a little bit practically there. Margiela by Jean Galliano, but only if I can access both the men's and the women's wear. Yeah, that's pretty fair. Raph Simmons is only what I'm dressed in. Dime Montreal or Acne Studios said Luke Alvarez, and Luke is our winner in that he has the same answer as me. I would only choose to wear the new season by Dime Montreal. Just kidding. I would only wear Acne Studios. I think that's realistically what I would do, because I feel like that would give me both incredibly like expressive, goofy, fun to wear things, but also things that just are well designed and like just are like, these clothes are absolutely incredible. Because I feel like if I was only wearing like CDG, I'm 6'2", and so like the collection would all get like dump trucked at my house, and it'd be like, here's all your Homme Plus, pal, where do you want it? And they would like dump it all off, and I would immediately say like, okay, 70% of this does not fit my body, because I'm too tall and my like shoulders are too wide or something. Doesn't fit my body. And then like the stuff that does fit, I feel like I would occasionally just be like, I am so frustrated with wearing clothes. Oh my gosh, because like this thing is awesome. This would be so cool if I could choose when I wore it, but I have to wear it all the time because it's the most wearable pair of pants, and really like it's annoying and it's getting in my way, and like I just want to clean my house and like I can't because I have to wear these stupid pants. I feel like that would be the best balance of everything. Yeah, Acne Studios. Martin said Walter Van Beerdendonk. That would be a little frustrating. Thierry Mugler, Sophie might get you arrested, But I don't know. I like only see like the runway stuff by Terry. Is like is his ready to wear stuff as like, because it just seems like very like luxury. It's like a luxury version of like wearable lingerie. Because like, I mean, the thing that's in my head, I don't know if this is fully based on fact, but like what I have in my head is like, isn't like half of like Thierry Mugler's stuff like totally sheer? And maybe I just don't have enough. Not well. I guess this is as good a time as any, right? Let's look this up real quick. Thierry Mugler buy. I love doing that. That's my favorite thing. Searching like designer I could never possibly afford to buy at retail, and then the word buy, and then I get to look through like Essence stuff. Oh yeah, I'm like, my impression is going to be totally incorrect here, because already I'm seeing just like, oh yeah, we could wear that to the office. I ain't no thing to wear that to the office. That's just made of a slightly interesting material. Yeah, we got some pretty horny fits in here. Nothing extremely crazy. No. There's only like one or two. Never mind. No, the stuff that I know him for on the runway is not at all represented by what's actually going to the stores here. Actually, this stuff is pretty fucking sick. Sophie, look up it's on Essence in the women's section. Look up the white denim jacket. If you're on mobile, just like look it up later. That is maybe the coolest denim jacket I've ever seen. One of them. Sheesh, that is cool. And the matching denim pants are like sick. This is a powerful outfit. If some lady was wearing this at a party, I would be very intimidated by them and be like, your outfit is so cool. But I would feel so nervous saying your outfit is so cool. Just because I would be like, oh, I hope they think I'm cool when I say that their outfit is cool. Yeah, this stuff is sick. Mugler was a good choice. Very good choice. Huh. Alamad said, you can't wear $14,000 worth of Rick to just go grab some milk. I have great news for you, Alamad. You can, in fact, go spend or go wear a $14,000 Rick outfit to go buy some milk. You can do that all the time if you wanted. And actually, I guarantee that you will like feel way, way cooler at the grocery store if you are doing that. And if it makes you feel like uncomfortable to like have other people like looking at you, then also wear some cool sunglasses while you are wearing stuff like that to the grocery store. And then you don't have to worry about accidentally making eye contact with anybody because they can't see you because you have your sick ass Kubaram sunglasses on. Someone said, why project? Okay, Rick, you said Laura Piana, which that actually might even be a better answer than, I might be changing my answer to Laura Piana. Let's look up what new Laura Piana looks like. Can I tell you guys a cool story about when I was styling in Laura Piana? So I, at one point, had a client that when I still worked for this company, I was not allowed to talk about. But now I don't work for him anymore, so I'm gonna tell you. It was Shane Battier of the Miami Heat, who is a retired NBA player. And also like a super smart person, just like if you met him and couldn't see how tall he was and how big of a body he had, like you would never guess that he was like a former athlete. You would assume that he had been like in banking or something his entire life. He gives off almost no vibes at all of having been an athlete, except for his gargantuan body and his size 16 feet. Anyway, they threw him as a client over to me, and I got on the phone with him, like did a couple Skype calls and stuff, and was just like, hey, like, I bet I know what you're looking for, clothes that will fit your body. And he was like, yeah, I gotta, he was like, I'm pretty well set for most of my clothes because he was like, basically my whole career has just switched to investing. And so like all of my, he's like, I'm either doing work things or I'm like, you know, going to dinner or some kind of event with my wife. And all of those things I can get away with just wearing clothes that I've had tailored for me. So I can just wear formal shirts, untucked with like some trousers or whatever. And I just get all that stuff made at this point. He was like, I get all my shoes made. Like, so all of that stuff is totally taken care of. I have all my suits made. Like, he was like, I don't need like cool looking sweatpants that will fit me or whatever. He's like, however, whenever I go golfing, he golfs a lot now. Whenever I go golfing in Scotland, and golfing other places too, but especially Scotland, with usually other investor guys, it rains a lot. And obviously in Scotland, it rains an enormous amount. And he was like, and so I have my golf gear that I'm wearing. I have like my golf shoes that I had made and stuff, and I'm wearing like just basically business clothes otherwise. But I'm golfing, and then when everybody pulls out their rain gear and puts it on, I have mine, but it is way too small for me. And rain gear, if you, for golf at least, if you don't golf, the way that this is supposed to fit is it's supposed to fit like easily over your clothes. This is not supposed to be like really slick, like cool looking rain gear. It's supposed to be something you can just like pop on really easily and then just kind of slough off when it stops raining. Because it's not meant to be necessarily fashionable. So the general fit that everybody else has with this is like, it's slightly too big on them, just slightly too baggy. And then Shane would put his on and he looked ridiculous. Like he looked like someone who was like wearing one of their kids' clothes, because it was just like way too small. And on everyone else, it had this like slightly baggy, very relaxed fit. So he was like, I can use this for forever. I don't plan on getting a whole lot bigger. So like he was like, if we have to get them custom made or like whatever, he was like, I just can't find a solution for this right now. So I just need golf rain gear. And I spent the entirety of one day, basically from the time that I woke up to the time that I went to sleep, trying to find a place that would fucking do this. And the closest that I got was Loro Piana, because basically like the way that tailors work is they're very willing to work with natural fibers and materials and stuff. But as soon as you start saying like, I have some Tyvek or something, they just say like, I don't work with any artificial materials at all. And it's like, well, but hang on. So I'm like shopping for a client and like money really isn't an issue. So if there's some kind of upcharge that you need to do for that, and they literally flatly said, independent tailors, mind you, like people that should be very persuaded by being like, I'll give you $1,000 for it. Like all of them were like, no, I don't work with any artificial materials at all. And I guess it's just because it's harder to work with you sometimes need special machinery. I don't know. But anyway, I talked to Loro Piana because I was like, guys, you are in like all you do. They specialize in making custom things. Loro Piana is really big on making custom things for people. And I called the London store and I explained the situation. And I was like, listen, I have been up and down the phone lists of every golf company in the world. I have been up and down the list of specialty golf companies. I have like talked to people who like are in charge of like Nike sports deal stuff and been like, this is Shane Battier, please help me out. Like make me custom golf gear. And they were like, no chance, absolutely not. And I was like, you've got to help me, please. I do not want to come back totally empty-handed on this. And they were like, let me get head of client relations to come down here and talk to you real quick. He was like, because I really want to find a way to help you out with this. And they got like the head of client relations to come get on the phone with me. And he was like, all right, explain your situation. And I did. And he was like, I really wish there was something that I could do here. And he was like, if it's rain gear, if it's something that has to be waterproof, he was like, we do not have anything that's going to be able to make that work just from a manufacturing standpoint. We can't make that happen. And I was so frustrated. And then the solution came in the form of a set of Adidas golf rain gear, like a tracksuit thing that had like a hood on it. It was one of the lowest rated items on Adidas' entire web shop. And the reason it was so low rated was because everyone was like, this fucking thing fits way too big. I do not understand what's wrong with it. I bought a size small and it fits like a size extra large. And, and I was like, yes, I found it. Somehow like this thing has been like so poorly made that I think it's gonna actually work. And I like instantly was like, buy. And I bought like a medium, a large, and an extra large. And I was like, Shane, you have no idea like how much stupid stuff I have done today in an attempt to find this for you. You're gonna get a package with three different sizes of the same suit. I want you to try them on and tell me what fits. And he said that he got them out And he was like, obviously the extra large, because you know I've never fit anything below an extra large in my entire life. He puts on the extra large and he goes over to a camera, goes over to a mirror, and he takes a picture and he was like, the XL is too big. I have to wear a size large. And I was like, you're damn straight it is, yeah. And we found it. He kept the large and he sent the other two back, and it was like one of the best feelings ever, having found that. It was so sick. I was so excited. Anyway. Let's see. But yeah, Loro Piana, they were like my last ditch effort and they weren't able to help me, which was a big bummer. But I did do that process, like while I was like talking to different people at Loro Piana, I was like surfing on their website and reading about them, and they're like, if you just have infinite money, Loro Piana is maybe one of the best. It's one of the brands through which you can access some of the like objectively best textiles to wear, period. Like without like going on a journey of discovery yourself in the world of textiles. Like if you're trying to access the best textiles through a brand, Loro Piana might be the best solution in the entire world for that. Anyway. Someone said Hi Bliss, but their name is like not pronounceable. So Hi, insanely long name with the upside down, with the pentagram over a cat's face profile picture. Hello. Dang, Chris just won a Steven Snyder coat on eBay for 56 bucks. That's insane, dude. Loro Piana has better fabrics than any goth artisanal brand. Don't at me. What a controversial opinion. Okay. But yeah, Loro Piana is like, you know, pretty expensive. Let's go to their website, see what's new, see how much it costs. Let's go to the man section, the Manny Man section. I don't want shorts and t-shirts. I'm looking for a coat. I'm looking for a good coat from Loro Piana. Let's see here, the Glendale cashmere jacket, $6,000. That is fucking crazy. Jeez. The Soho coat in cashmere, $6,000. The Pantalone Rib Canton, which is made of wool, and it is a pair of sweatpants. That is $1,600. Holy fucking bricks. A cotton polo shirt, $500. A steal at $500. Salt Lake Bomber, made of cotton and silk, $2,500. Holy shit, Loro Piana. Oh my gosh. I was reading, I mean, we're not going to go into it right now because I don't remember anything off the top of my head, and it would kind of be shitty for me just to sit here and read something to you, but like, yeah, their like processes for their textiles are insane. They have like a whole explanation here on like, this is how our cashmere comes into being. Got a lot of pictures. Wow, this is a lot of explanation about how they source their cashmere. And this page leads to more detailed explanations about cashmere. Wow, this is crazy. I want to see the animal that my cashmere came from. All right, cool. So yeah, Loro Piana, extremely expensive, extremely cool. And also, like, if you want stuff by Loro Piana and you don't want to pay those prices, get on therealreal.com, because Loro Piana is some of the cheapest designer stuff that they have on there. I have considered like taking like, there's like $700 or something, and then getting on the Real and like just buying like 8 or 9 outfits, like only of Loro Piana stuff, and just like getting it all in and just being like, I'm just gonna try wearing this stuff for a while and just see how I like it. I've not done that yet. As soon as I have a spare $800, I'll let you know. Marcus said, we shoot Loro and Cucinelli at the Neiman Marcus all the time. So expensive, probably not for much longer though. Probably not for much longer because of the virus. Oh yeah, wait, okay, hang on. Duncan made a comment that we might need to talk about here. Gracious goodness me. Okay, so does anyone know what a vicuña jacket is? Am I saying that right? Vicuña? Yeah, Chris, we already talked about the baby spine bag. A vicuña jacket is a jacket that costs usually about $40,000. So like the price of a pretty nice car. Dang, I just need a really short explanation here, people. Come on. It's like, okay, wait. Dang, I'm not going to try to read about this entire process and then summarize it off the fly on a live stream. That would be so shitty. Vicuña is spelled V-I-C-U-N with a little wiggly thing with an eyebrow. A. V-I-C-U-N-A. Anywhere from like 20K to 40K for a jacket, and like a scarf from Loro is like 4K. But yeah, the process of getting this wool, I had it explained to me one time. And I don't remember it off top, but yeah, vicuña is like insane. There's somebody who has some quote about like if you own your house and you own a relatively new car, like you don't owe any payments left on it, and you have a retirement fund set up, and you've got your kids' college money set aside, the first thing you have to buy is a vicuña coat. And it's apparently just like epically warm. And I imagine it's warm like in a cashmere kind of way, where it's not like a sweaty kind of warm. It's just a warm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm being hugged by a bear. Okay. Duncan Ken 6 had a really good thought for a question. So I had thoughts on designers leaving a namesake brand and having someone else fill in their former role. Any designers you'd like to see at big brands specifically? Well, the most notable example of that I can think of, join the Patreon. If you have not joined yet, please join the Patreon. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. Go join it now so that I can freak out in like 3 minutes when you're done signing up for it. Go now. I will freak out. The biggest freak out I've ever done. Go sign up now. Patreon.com/BlissFoster. The biggest example of this that I can think of that's happening right now is Peter Doe possibly going to helmet laying. That's in my opinion like the only thing that can really bring helmet laying back into the realm of interestingness. The reason I would not want that to happen is because Peter Doe is very truly something special right now. Like, Peter Doe is, I think, the single most exciting young designer I can name. I cannot think of anyone who is more exciting than Peter Doe. And I really don't want him to get that vision blurred at his namesake house by working for other houses so quickly. I would want there to be another 3 or 4 years of development at least of Peter Doe's namesake brand before he tries to run off and do something else, some other bigger project. So yeah, ultimately I don't want that to happen, but that, Duncan, is probably the biggest like designer going to a big house fit that makes the most sense. Because Peter Doe's so clear, I mean, you look at it and it's just very clearly obvious that it's just kind of like, this is very inspired by a certain vision of Helmut Lang's work. Helmut Lang's work is substantially more complicated than I think most archivists kind of lead people to believe, because most people are just kind of like, oh yeah, it was like all like ice and steel and monochrome and very just like ultra serious and like kind of sexy occasionally, but mostly just really serious. And there were straps on the insides of the jackets so you could wear it like a backpack if you didn't want to put it on. And that's all that Helmut Lang was, just this austere steel and ice seriousness. And that really wasn't true. Helmut Lang used a lot of color, and there was a lot of stuff that he did that was like very goofy, and like he was, I mean, a lot like kind of what we're finding out about Martin Margiela through the Margiela series is that it's just kind of like, wow, it turns out that most of the vision that I had in my head for who Margiela was largely being pitched by Kanye West in Yeezus era Kanye West. And so like I thought there was a lot more like brooding, dark epicness. And it wasn't. Turns out that like Martin Margiela's his brand is, I would say, mostly like the central theme of the Martin Margiela brand is joy. And that is not something that was very apparent in Yeezus era Kanye West. And so like actually going back and like looking through the clothes, I'm finding that I'm having to kind of reimagine like what the Margiela universe is, and that most of my preconceived notions about it were not correct. And I think that, I mean, I've of course not researched Helmut Lang anywhere close to as deeply as I've now researched Martin Margiela, but I mean, from what I can tell, it's the exact same thing, where like archivists kind of kicked off by the initial like Kanye West thing, the like kind of newer generation of archivists that are like 30 and younger have pitched a very narrow vision of what Helmut Lang is. But either way, that very, very narrow vision of Helmut Lang seems to be the jumping off point for what Peter Do is doing. And while that is, in my opinion, a narrow vision of Helmut Lang's entire body of work, that doesn't make it not cool or bad or whatever. Obviously. So, yes! What's up, Kellen Grisham? This is the biggest freak out I've ever had. Watch, hang on. I just threw some food, Kellen. Thank you for joining my Patreon. Knock some shit over. Ow. I was trying to throw that behind me and I hit myself in the head. Kellen, thank you. Okay. Kellen, I'm going to turn your spine into a backpack. I mean, a handbag. Thank you so much for joining my Patreon. I think there's a wasp in my apartment. Flip the table. Jenna says, I can, because I know what your voice sounds like now and how like deadpan you are with everything. Like you saying, trash your house, you mad dog, is hilarious because I know what your voice sounds like. And you have very expressive vocabulary, but your voice is like very like calm and even. Trash your house, you mad dog. All right. What were we talking about? Thanks for joining the Patreon, Kellen. I hope it was worth it. You did this to me, Kellen. Now my heart is racing. Oh, whew. All right, someone else go join and I'll do something even bigger. Go now. Start the process. It will be crazy. Even crazier than that. How could it get crazier than throwing a single gummy candy, hitting yourself in the head with a pin, and then throwing that pin, and then picking up a chair to make it look like you're gonna throw it at the camera, but then you don't really throw it at the camera? How could it get any crazier than that? Hard to guess, but we can find out. Y'all don't be buying spines? Couldn't be me. What was I saying? So based on that, oh my gosh. There's this thing that my dad and I both have, like, diagnosed ADD. And there's this concept that we talk about a lot where it's like the blocks got knocked down. I can't catch my thought again. What the fuck was I saying last? I remember I was talking like Helmet and Peter Doe and stuff, answering this question that's in front of me here, but like, anyway, I think Peter Doe is doing an extremely 2020 version of that interpretation of Helmut Lang's legacy. ADD gang. Oh yeah, and I guess I should have said ADHD because that's what it's in that like Journal of Medicine as now. There is no ADD anymore. It's all ADHD. It's all been lumped together. Oh yeah, David asked, has anyone here signed up for that IFM online course on fashion? I haven't because I assume, despite, you know, Jacques Moon being a total hunk, and despite my liking his work very much, I just sort of assumed that because of the very general interest in that and because of the extremely broad topic that they're covering, that it's going to be like no information, and that the idea here is to promote something that does cost money by just sort of like making you feel like you're learning. It's going to be basically a large advertisement for something else, was my guess. Attention deficit, high definition. Yeah, Arnold Putra. You were pretty close. The greatest. His name is Arnold Putra. Arnold Putra. Yeah, like I mean, really the thing about fashion that you need to understand is like, I don't know. I've been reached out to by like a few different. I've had a few brands reach out to me before. This is related to the online classes thing. Been a few brands that have reached out to me and been like, hey broski, like I love your videos and stuff. Can you like teach me how to like better develop my collections and stuff? And then I'll like look through their stuff, and like the honest answer sometimes comes down to, I think you need to learn how to make clothes. Like, not to be mean or anything, but like your brand as it exists now is t-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, socks, some other little clever accessory things, and then some kind of tactical military inspired things with straps. And I think that in order for you to have a collection that you're very proud of the narrative and stuff, you need to widen your arsenal of what you need to widen the number of weapons in your arsenal. There needs to be it looks like maybe you don't know how to make a coat. Looks like maybe you don't know how to make a button up. It looks like maybe if I gave you khaki material and a sewing machine and a ruler, that you would not be able to draw up a pattern and then cut the pattern out and then sew the pattern together to make me a normal pair of khaki pants. That's always kind of the litmus that I use at first, is like, yeah, those like sort of avant-garde pant things that you came up with are interesting looking. Could you draft a pattern for, cut out the pattern and sew together a pair of regular khakis that like I could find at American Eagle? Because if you can't, then that is the first thing that you need to start on. Sorry, being a fashion designer is excruciatingly hard work. It is stupid hard to be a fashion designer. So if that sounds intimidating and like a waste of time or something, it's not. That's just kind of the first step to doing all this stuff, is that you can't really go out and be like Mr. like crazy avant-garde, wild and free, making jackets that, you know, like it's cool because like one of the buttons for the jacket is inside of your mouth and stuff. Like, you can't do stuff like that unless you can just make me a normal pair of khakis from scratch. take my measurements, make me khakis. That's the first step. And then we can work on the narrative that you're telling through your collection, whatever that may be. What's up, Karsten? Karsten in the cut. Karsten playing too much Minecraft. Karsten, I'm telling you, the secret to having a YouTube channel is literally have no other priorities. Go to work, create content. Those are the no video games, no other interests, no human relationships, only content. Play Animal Crossing. Also play Animal Crossing. There was a brief period in time when I was still playing like Dark Souls and stuff, like still like fiddling around and like finding like swords that I hadn't found yet and stuff. And I quickly had to like be like, I must choose between the Dark Souls series. I choose my YouTube channel. Yeah, Donna Kay said that I'm a second-year fashion design major, and one of the first things that almost all of my teachers says, you have to learn the rules before you can break the rules. Yes, and that's something that I think is, well, I guess it's like this in every art form. Like, people look at like Julius Seven and they look at Rick Owens and stuff. Yes! Oh, holy shit! Jack Ransom. Hang on, I have to find something actually for real to throw. Jack! You signed up for the $9 tier. Jack, you are my best friend. Hang on. What's some wild shit that I can do? Hang on. OnlyFans content for free. Let's go. No, I'm just joking. That would have been sick, right? Just like, yeah, Bliss whipped his hog out. It was crazy. So yeah, I guess his YouTube channel doesn't exist anymore because like 5 people reported it. But yeah, he like helicoptered his dick around because somebody signed up for the $9 tier of his YouTube channel or his Patreon. Break a table. Hit a nay-nay, jump off the balcony. I could do both at the same time. Hit this fucking nay-nay. Wait. You know what this is? Jack, I'm incredibly happy that you signed up for my Patreon. This is a package. This package contains the clothes from the Hamkiss video. These are the clothes that I used in the Hamkiss video that were lent to me by Tough Leong at Hamkiss. It's a very big box. It's pretty heavy. It's full of Hamkiss clothes. Very expensive, like $3,000 worth of clothes in this box. So what I'm going to do, this box, when I sent it back months ago, after I made the Hamkiss video, it got caught in Chinese customs and they wouldn't let it through. And then just recently, they reached out to me and said, hey, we never told you, but that box got caught at customs because something wasn't right. And they won't release it to us, even though it's in the back room of the post office that we're at right now. They will not release the package to us. They're going to send it back to you. We're going to send you a FedEx shipping thing. Please send it back to us so we can have our clothes back. What I'm going to do, Jack, because you signed up for the Patreon and I'm so appreciative, I am going to open this box and I'm going to destroy these clothes live on air. Just need to find like a knife or something so I can pop it open. All right. You called my bluff, Jack. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm such a coward. I won't even destroy the Hamkiss clothes live on air. I'm like sitting here with like a lighter and I'm like, is that what you did this, Jack? You made me do this, Jack. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for signing up for the $9 tier. That means a ton. $9 gang is like incredible. Just tell Tough Leong that it was for a bit. I did it to encourage more people to sign up for my Patreon. Okay, you guys are really funny. All those comments were really funny. Yeah, Dancom knows about the $9 gang. We just asked Dancom's questions. Dancom's question. I gotta know if that's the name on your birth certificate, dude. That is a very difficult name to say. Dancom. Oh, is it Duncan? Okay, if your name is Duncan, that makes a lot more sense. But Dancom, that's a tough one. Whew. Jeez. Shortness of breath, y'all. Can I PayPal you $8 United States dollars? Sure, bud. Yeah, you definitely can. If you wanted to PayPal me, like, I don't know, you would, because really I don't like it when people PayPal me instead of just signing up for the Patreon. That's frustrating and difficult because then it's all this extra stuff that I gotta do. Yeah, please just go hit the Patreon. Damn, the greatest. That's kind of a mean thing to say. A check by mail? Sure, bud. Tell you what, if you want to PayPal me or what? Wait, what? What's wrong with Patreon? What's wrong with Patreon? Because if you're able to PayPal me, that means you have access to online funds. So you're not like a 16-year-old that just like doesn't have a credit card and has no way of paying for it. I lost a gummy and I'm really concerned that I'm gonna step on it because I'm wearing my Solomons right now and I'm really concerned that those big old like treads, that I'm gonna get like a gummy stuck on one of the treads. But I found the gummy, it's right here. I'm not gonna eat it because it just fell on the ground. And I've already eaten like 2 gummies off the ground. I'm not doing that anymore. Can I pay in bells? No. Also, Arturo, you're already on here. Do I accept XRP? That would be my brother. I have a very crypto-minded brother who gifted me a bunch of Litecoin for Christmas one year, and we see how that's turned out. Not great. Not great. Someone should show us your DMs with Virgil. I will not show you my DMs with Virgil because I don't really have a way of doing that because you're on my phone right now. You are already inside of my phone. But I'll read you what was said. Because originally I did that. I did that on a live stream, but I deleted it because it was just me freaking out about talking to Virgil. And I figured if Virgil ever saw that, he like checked out more stuff on the channel, then that would be sort of embarrassing. I don't know. That would seem kind of weird. Where's this? I know. So what I did was I sent myself screenshots of the conversation so that I can read it aloud. Damn, y'all. Yes! SR, what's up? What does SR stand for? I know you're in the chat. What does SR stand for? Tell me. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. Should the rest of this just be me freaking out about people joining? Because I'm not really down to destroy things. Also, I don't want that to become a standard. Where it's just kind of like, there's this guy and his channel used to be about fashion. Now it's mostly people like daring him to do like really crazy stuff on live. Okay, what if I search for Virgil in my Gmail inbox? How is this so difficult? Okay, me. Emails from me to me. How is this so difficult? I know that this happened in March. I can't find the email. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. I sent myself a screenshot of the Virgil conversations. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry, guys. I'll maybe get that at another time. I'm so confused. Bliss, can you ask Virgil what was up with those dunks a couple of months ago? No. I cannot ask him about a specific project that he was involved in. I feel like that would be super tacky. He just finished the thing where he like made a skin for Drake's plane. That is extremely cool, and hopefully will bring back the trend of airplanes being painted, because that was like a thing in the 60s where like lots of planes got painted, and they would like commission artists to like design like cool like paint jobs for airplanes and stuff, and like custom things for different brands and stuff. And it looked cool as hell. Like there were airplanes. Oh, it's crazy. Because my entire life, I've like maybe Virgin Airlines planes were like the only ones that had a little bit of like a little fling of color to it. But like planes look fucking sick when they're like colored and they have pictures on them and stuff. It was extremely cool. Hopefully that will be a thing. Virgil made the tour poster for Rage and RTJ this summer, which has now been postponed. Yeah. Kind of not, it's not stupid. It's disappointing. Like, I think all of us sort of, I don't know. Yeah. Let us hope that the disappointment for this stays in the realm of events being canceled and does not bleed over into everybody knows multiple people who have been killed by it, because that is what this is all for, is so that we can protect our grandparents, which is very important. Oh, it's okay, cool. Jaboris. Darky? Is it Darky? The third? He was the SR person that signed up. Patreon. Quarantine vision has become a normal part of my vocabulary. Yeah, that was one of the things that Virgil said to me. Was I was like, hey, are you holed up in Italy right now? And he was like, I got out just in time. I am in the United States. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. And he was like, he just said in all caps, quarantine vision. And I was like, oh, Virgil Abloh is saying Virgil Abloh stuff at me. This is awesome. Like my hands were like shaking. I was like tearing up while he was like speaking to me. It was extremely emotional. It was very moving. I'm a pretty emotional, I don't know. My emotions are confusing. I would say I'm a very emotional person, except that I meet almost all major events in my life with like complete emotional flatness, and I like forget to react to things, very extreme things in some cases. Very, very extreme things will be happening to me, and I'll just kind of like forget that I'm supposed to be like, stop, or like, I mean, so yeah, I am an emotionally confusing person, but during that interaction, I was like crying and my hands were shaking really hard and just saying stuff like, ha ha ha, I know, right? Which is a very strange thing to be texting someone while you're like crying because you're texting them. I have never seen Virgil's penmanship. You're just talking about like when he like signs stuff? Bliss went stand mode. I've always liked Virgil. Kind of always liked his work. But yeah. Very stan. Oh, and there's my phone reminding me that I was supposed to go to a Third Eye Blind show tomorrow night and then go backstage and hang out with Stephen Jenkins and be on his podcast. That is not happening now. Stephen Jenkins is at home in San Francisco, and is probably still drinking wine. Or the tequila company that he made. Oh my gosh, Virgil Pokemon Go collab would be insane. I would get so fucking into that. Does everyone know that I play Pokemon Go? That I'm level 40 in Pokemon Go? I was playing Pokemon Go for 2 to 3 hours a day at one point. And not like when it first came out and everybody was playing it. Like 8 months later, when everybody stopped playing it, I was like, I think I'm gonna start playing Pokemon Go. And I did. I got extremely in Pokemon Go. Everyone's like, what's your friend code? I can pull up my friend code. Hang on. I'm nervous because I have to X out of this in order to do it. So hang tight. I'm gonna get my friend code. 2 seconds. I'm back. Okay, my friend code for Pokemon Go is 1016 2808 9174. 1016 2808 9174. I could almost taste the nay. I don't even think I understand what a nay is, guys. I'm not sure I even understand what that is. All right, I'm gonna look it up. Boy, this has gotten off topic. Should I watch the official music video for Watch Me? YouTube TV, no long-term contract. No thanks. Skip ads. I'm being shown an ad about Masterclass. Anna Wintour teaches creativity and leadership, which sounds like the most bogus 5 hours of content in existence. It's gonna be Anna Wintour being like, collaboration is very important. You know, you're much more creative when you have other people around you who are also creative. Your homework for today is go try and be creative with another person and just see what happens. For some reason, Anna Wintour became Julia Childs in that impression. Okay, so this music video so far is featuring a lot of white teenagers who are just rhythmically moving around to music. Okay, we've gotten a little more racially diverse now. It is less just white teenagers now. There does not seem to be a single dance here. Is the nay just any dance that involves your arms? Because that seems to be the only thing that is like bringing all these dances together, is like arms are involved. Oh, now there's some lame moms who are doing their own little dance. Guys, I don't know how to do this. I'm sorry. We're moving away from nay-naying right now. I'm gonna drop like 18 more gummy bears. What's up, baby? Spine time. What up, Luna? Mission failed, boys. You're all a funny bunch. Let's do one more question, and we've been going for an hour and a half. Let's cut it off after this. One more question. Here we go. We kind of covered Champ Champagne's questions in the very beginning, because he was basically just being like, talk about the guy that made the fine baby bag. Okay, so they said it would be funny to do a review of extremely commercial brands like Michael Kors. So let's look at the new Michael Kors Fall winter 2020, baby. Let's do it. Let's look at it. Ready to wear collection. Favorite archive page is definitely Archived that just launched. Those guys are doing pretty outstanding stuff. I love Archived because they're kind of building like a fashion, like Wikipedia, encyclopedia type beat, and it's really good so far. Okay, so pulling up the new Michael Kors collection. This isn't bad, I guess. A lot of very wearable old lady stuff. Like almost all of this does look like if a woman who is young and cool saw it, they would be like, bro, fuck no. No, I guess there's a couple cool things in here. Yeah. I guess the thing that is confusing to me is that like there does not ever seem to be, oh my gosh, Bella Hadid is in this. This is actually pretty good. This is nice. I like Bella Hadid. I also like Gigi Hadid. They're both so cute. I love following, you know, anything having to do with them, and things that they're involved in make me want to spend some money on it. I want their life, and I want their skin and their bones, and I want them for myself. Just kidding. I'm not sure I understand the obsession with the Hadid sisters. That's always struck me as a little weird. I guess the thing that with Michael Kors is so confusing to me is that the longer that you guys are around me, and we're just all being candid here on live, the more you're gonna see sort of my not very funny, absurdist sense of humor coming out. So apologies in advance about that. I think it was the freaking out over the Patreon thing that sort of unlocked that a little bit, got me a little too comfortable around y'all. I think the thing that's always been very confusing to me about Michael Kors is that there doesn't seem to be a cohesive storyline. This seems to be a brand that makes clothing, and all Michael Kors clothes, men's or women's, because I know the men's, like there's a lot of diffusion lines, because I had someone give me them for Christmas one time. I was given a Michael Kors sweater for Christmas one time, and I don't think ever been given a gift that was more opposed to my general taste than to be given a Michael Kors sweater. It was crazy. This just looks like a brand that is doing a runway show for the purposes of, like, I don't know. Like, all Michael Kors clothes that I've seen, men's or women's, are terrible quality. They're extremely low quality. In some cases, they're almost indistinguishable from like fast fashion places. Like, they're not even like, oh, Lux feeling. Like, I don't care for Michael Kors, but like, wow, what a nice, chunky, thick, like cozy looking sweater. Like, all of them are just kind of like, whew, they mushed together some pocket lint and put a tag on it. Wow, this is not good. And then even from like because I mean, there are brands who, to be sure, I mean, a lot of undercover stuff. I can go on record saying there's a lot of undercover stuff that is questionable quality wise. But that doesn't really matter, because the thing that we're sticking around for with undercover is not clothes that are going to like clothes that we can like go play rugby in. Like we're looking for stuff that has like cultural significance and like visual design. We're not looking for like meticulous handcrafted details, right? So clothes don't have to be like an insane quality. There doesn't seem to be anything about Michael Kors as a brand, and by extension his runway shows, that is compelling. Like there doesn't seem to be any kind of cohesive story. Like I'm looking at fall winter 2020, and this has like, okay, cow print, which I know has been like on the trend forecasting network. So we have like spangly, shapeless gold things that are like roughed up at the neck that are sort of like, this is a reference to like Demna's kind of takeover of everything. We have some very heritage looking riding outfits that seem to call back to like 19th century like Britain riding uniforms, and we have some very Japanese inspired stuff on a Japanese model that seems a little pandery, but like it's a, you know, a coat that is built like an old like those raincoat things that have the armholes to the side so that you can wear like the armholes like right here so that you can kind of like stick your arms through a little bit still, and it's still like kind of covered, sort of like a poncho, but it's like made of leather. So we just have like a lot of elements here. It just seems like, you know, there's no story being told here. And then if I go a couple seasons back and just pick another random season, all seasons, man, Vogue on desktop is not great. So if we cycle back a little bit, we can look at fall winter 2013. Totally different time in fashion, radically different time in fashion. Let's look at the clothes. Then what are we looking at here? We are looking at stuff that is trying to be like Y3 for middle-aged moms. It's a totally different, everything is either this like very like, this very futuristic blue and yellow colored, everything, all the seams are black. This is very Alexander Wang luxury streetwear kind of inspired stuff. Totally different vibe. Wow, this is really hard to look. Some of this looks like Philip Plein now. This is pretty hard to look at. So yeah, I mean, it just seems like there's no element of this that is a consistent story other than like, I'm Michael Kors. I am the #1 supporter of Vogue. I buy more ads than any other brand. Here I am, Michael. I am occasionally featured in fashion documentaries to commentate on others. There doesn't seem to be any kind of storyline to this stuff that makes it interesting. I guess there's no point of view. That's the most cohesive way to describe it. There's no point of view here. It is just sort of trotting along behind trends and interpreting them in a wealthy, not a lot to do all day house mom kind of stuff. So I don't know. I guess when they asked that question, they were probably expecting for me to like roast them or something, but that mostly just kind of made me sad. My eBay has just alerted me that there is one new listing matching the description Jeffrey B. Small. I keep eBay alerts open for Jeffrey B. Small. Not a big deal. Wow, this is a wonderful way of putting it. David Doan said, I feel the same way about Michael Kors as I do about Radio Shack. That is a beautiful way of putting this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just sort of like Radio Shack. What do you do? Oh, we sell electronics. It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, sell electronics like how? To whom? I don't know, man. We just sell like components and stuff. Like, get off my back. Leave the store. You need to get out. Like, that's what Michael Kors' answer would be if you asked him, like, what's your point of view as a designer? He'd be like, I make pants, leave! Wow, David, what a beautifully articulated point. Thank you. Luke said, I bought some Levi's last weekend. They're the only jeans I've worn through quarantine. They're so comfortable. Cool, bro. I can't stop wearing my Norse Projects sweatpants. They have a lot of wool in them, and they're very nice, very warm. They're going to get like destroyed soon. I've worn them so hard for years and years and years. No other comments that are super. Wow. Kadar just found out that his Ministry of Education offers full scholarships to Parsons. Damn. Is it like, if you're still here, Kadar, Sulta Al-Kadar? I don't know. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I hope I'm not butchering it too bad. Is it like one person a year gets full ride to Parsons? Or is it just like, just fill out this form and we'll send you to Parsons? That's sick, dude. You should go. Parsons is cool as hell. Also, you should be prepared to work insanely hard. Because, yeah, fashion design students, there's a reason I didn't do that with my life. It's hard as fuck. It's incredibly difficult, and the number of things that you should be doing. I mean, it is certainly possible to go to Parsons or go to Central St. Martin's and get an entire degree and just be like jerking off and like partying the entire time. Like, it is entirely possible to do that if you are using your time and money spent correctly, in my no experience, no professional opinion. If you are using that time correctly, you will be doing the requirements for your classes while also performing a lot of experiments on your own with clothing design. Because, I mean, to be totally frank, like, if you're just doing the minimum requirements that's like required for class, that is a very time consuming thing, and it's like not a joke. But also, like, I don't know, in my opinion, you should be doing some experiments on your own. Like, you need to be doing more muslin experiments, and you need to be like putting together a jacket and stuff, not because your teacher told you to, but because you're trying to figure this stuff out in a real way. And you should also be looking for internships, if not in an internship. And how you balance all three of those things, like recreationally working on projects, completing school projects, and also like getting an internship, like preferably like in your junior year, and doing it through your senior year as well, so you can like get some experience, so you can come out of there and just like pow straight into like a real career, like start putting together business pitches for a brand, or getting some funding, probably from a wealthy family member or an idiot. Not because you're an idiot, but because like funding a small fashion brand is maybe one of the most, we will say, unstable investments that one can make, period. Then again, look at all those stocks that people were putting money into. Those aren't doing so hot, so maybe the fashion kid thing, maybe it works out. Maybe we'll be all right. FIT over Parsons, don't at me, said Donna. I think they're just different, right? It's like strawberry and chocolate. It depends on what you want. Because like doesn't FIT focus heavily on like technical design? Like it's the Fashion Institute of Technology. Like, the name is kind of a good description of what it is. Whereas Parsons is very heavily focused on like conceptual and like the arts and stuff, right? Whereas and to be frank, from what I have heard, someone suggested Virgil's a patron. If he is, he changed his name. I don't believe so. What was I going to say? From what I understand, neither of them is equipping you to run a business. And that's supposedly what both of them are training you to do, is that there's a lot of people who are in there who are saying like, I'm going to become a fashion designer. When I get out of school, I'm gonna have my own brand. It will be a lifestyle brand. Do you know who Rick Owens is? I'm gonna be like that. And they're like, great, wonderful. We can certainly take your $50,000 annually and you can do anything you want after school. And then they don't train you how to run a business in either situation. There's like almost no, that's what I've heard from people who, from a friend of mine who does, what does he do? He's a consultant for really cool brands. All facts, no printer. Then they proceed to sell sand at the beach. Yeah, seriously, there is a maybe too many people wanting to have a lifestyle brand right now. There's a lot of. I want to start a minimalist, sustainable lifestyle brand. That was funny, Arturo. Let's see. Yes, FIT is very production focused. Very true. Breaking news: Virgil changed his name. I feel FIT is better to actually get a job. Yeah, Luke just said, my uncle owns a brand and he told me to just go get a business degree and then figure out the design on your own. Yup. The only thing that I would maybe say that's different on that is that, and this sucks, but like, if you are involved in the actual fashion design departments of a major school, fashion design department at a random liberal arts school or like a state school or something, probably not going to do this for you. But like, if you go to Parsons or CSM or something, those, I mean, like Tim Gunn, he's at Parsons, right? I think. He's the chair there. And like, everybody knows who Tim Gunn is. Like, everybody. So like, those people do have powerful connections. And if they reach out to somebody and say, listen, there is a kid in my department and he's graduating this year and he's looking for an internship, I think you would do really well to bring this kid on. That could be how you get a job at Marc Jacobs. Like, I know people who that was the exact path that was taken, is that they have a, like, well, my pattern cutting teacher is like really good friends with, Molly Goddard. And so I now am the pattern cutter at Molly Goddard. That's entirely possible. So, the connections element of it is pretty important. But yeah, also, I mean, dude, there are I mean, I know this from my consultant friend who I can't name because he's asked me not to when I talk about stuff like this, but he has, in confidence, let me know about, like, he was like, you would not believe how many fashion and fashion adjacent brands go totally bankrupt and it destroys the life of the person who started the company, because like, you don't have a business now, your dream has been crushed, and you have just an enormous amount of debt that you have to deal with in your life, like more debt than like student loan debt, like insane quantities of debt. And it happens because you don't know anything about how to run a business. Like he said that there were a number of meetings that he took where they were like, hey, we just kind of want you to look over our books a little bit and just kind of help us out. Just with like the business side of things, and then maybe help us like restructure our pricing a little bit so that we can kind of just, just like tighten things up or whatever. And he came in and sat down with them and was just kind of like, okay, cool. So let's just start right at the very beginning. Can you just like pull up wherever you keep your budget and let me just take a look at like how we're spending money? And they were like, well, typically, so like when the season starts, we usually have to talk. And he was like, no, just, I mean, where's your budget for like the next year? And they were like, oh, we don't have one. And it was a whole fashion company that had 12 employees, and there was never a written budget ever. They never made one for anything. They had been around for 3 years. This company went bankrupt like 6 months later. And like the person themselves, who like came from a like wealthy family and stuff, had to personally declare bankruptcy because their company got destroyed. Like that is not a like, well, we really gave it our best shot. That's fucking stupid. Like that's That is so stupid. Lindsay knows. Like, that's awful. It's one thing to be like bad personally with your money, but if you're like starting a business and you're like, I'm sure it'll be fine, and you have like employees and you have like all just So, fashion is full of those people. So it's, yeah, if you at least are paranoid enough to be like, we got to get like an accountant or a business manager or somebody who's not like me to come in here and just sit with a calculator all day and just like work with the numbers, then do that. But like, yeah. I mean, the fact that like that person could go to a major fashion school and then be like, what do you, I guess a budget would be nice to have like 3 years into owning a business. Like that is a, you know, there's at least an element of that is a failing of the education institution that they came out of. Yeah, someone said, that's artsy people for you. Yeah. Really the dream is, because I sent out a tweet a while ago where I said, do you naturally work well with numbers? Okay, the fashion industry needs you very, very badly. Like, we need business-minded people who can see the vision and can like help make that vision become a reality. Because really, it doesn't work. I would think it doesn't work if you just bring in like your freshman year roommate from college who like, well, wait, not at Parsons or FIT. It doesn't work if you just bring in like a banker bro, like who is your same age and is just kind of like, I need you to help me run the finances for this, because all that you're going to hear from them is that's unnecessary. We shouldn't be spending money on that. What you need is somebody who can talk with you about the clothes and the fashion and your designs and your concepts and ideas and stuff, and be able to say, I get it, and I really love your idea. Like, I understand the vision. I can see it. I see it with you. And then to be able to say, but we got to be realistic about these numbers. I love that like you're doing this and this and this, and I want to get the nice version of this wool too. I think we have to get that. But the person who can say, stop, we do not have any more money. You cannot have that event. I'm sorry, we do not have any more money. Do you want the wool or do you want the event? Because you can only have one. If you don't have somebody who, one, gets the vision, and two, can be super realistic with you and have serious conversations about like you're running out of money, then yeah, you can also have problems with that. But so yeah, if anybody here is super numbers minded, if you're in this live stream, I imagine that you can probably see the vision for a brand. So yeah, we need you. We need you very badly, because I myself, I am that person who's like, but I want the wool and the event. Why can't I have both? We could just do both. I'm the boss. It's my brand. My name is on the front door. That's what Ray Kawakubo's husband does. He's the realistic numbers guy. And he also very much gets the vision. And he also is her translator, which is very cute. And also, Demna Glosablovava, his brother, I think it's his younger brother, is big time numbers guy, but he also can see the vision. Boy, he's not out of focus. Arturo said, I see the vision, let's link and build. That meme still makes me laugh so much. If anybody wants to whip out any old memes, I'm a sucker for them. They still make me laugh aloud. Sahil said Lindsay's lurking.
Yeah, I am. Making coffee.
She said, yeah, I am. I'm making coffee. Eve says hi.
Hi, Eve.
Lindsay says hi, Eve. Michael Kors went to FIT. All my homies hate FIT. Yeah, fuck FIT.
No, just fuck Michael Kors.
Yeah, fuck Michael Kors. Someone said something here that I wanted to address. Michael said, so I want to own a retail space in the future, and I'm starting to look at universities. I want to go to fashion school instead of normal business school, so I can meet people and have them as clients. if you are, this is my personal, this is Bliss's opinion. I am not an expert in fashion retail. I am not an expert in a lot of things. I do not think there is any reason to go to fashion school if you only want to own a retail space. I think you need to go to business school. I think you need to get a business degree. Because honestly, like, yeah, whatever skill is required in the selection and the styling and the curation and the buying of different specific pieces from different collections and stuff, you already have whatever skill that is, or you can seriously pick it up on your own. I cannot think of any reason for you to go to fashion school so you can own a retail space. I'm racking my brain. I'm thinking really hard about it. I don't think you should go to fashion school. I do understand that in 2020, fashion school is like, I don't know what the cultural equivalent with that would be like 20 years ago. It's like, it's somehow become like the 2020 version of like skateboarding all summer and starting a rock band with your friends or something. Like it's become like, I have to go to fashion school because I want to have like cool friends and stuff. It just seems like just the coolest thing ever. I'm 30 years old and it sounds fucking sick. I still like, I'm just kind of like, oh, should I go to fashion school? That'd be so cool. It would be great for my YouTube channel. I'm going to Central St. Martin's and I'm spending $45,000 every year because I run a YouTube channel about fashion. So, you know, it's helping a ton. It's already helping a ton. But no, I don't think you should go to fashion school for that. I think you need to find a business school that is cheap also, because business schools, to be frank, do not, you ain't gotta go to a nice one. It's like getting a math degree. It's like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine at community college. You'll be all right. Just like plow through that shit, dude. Just like literally go and get a degree in 2 years. Go and get the fastest fucking like business degree as you can do. And then like, as soon as you're done with that shit, just go like hang out at Nowadays in Brooklyn. All the like Parsons kids are there anyway. Like just go hang out at Nowadays every night and like everyone, and you'll make friends and like everybody will be cool with you. Just be like, there's this guy who like knows a lot about business. He's like a big time business guy, but he's really cool. That should be you. That'll be you. I'll say that about you. I can be an advocate for you, and I've forgotten your name. Eve said, I need advice. I'm going to school for information systems, which is a web design and user interface, but I want to minor in graphic design. I wonder if I could mesh tech with a design merchandising minor. That is not a question for this live stream. That is a question for your advisor. That is not even something I could remotely begin to answer. What a great question. You should pursue the answer to that question, but you should not pursue it here. I don't know if did anyone try to answer that question. You should not take advice from people here. You should talk to your advisor. Someone said, please whisper in my ear that I'm cool again. You are so cool. I think you're great. You're so cool. And I'm so glad that you're getting so well acquainted with my left ear. I wanted to show you my left ear for a really long time. That's enough internet for today. Goodbye, everyone. I'm going to go research Hussein Chalayan a lot more and learn more about that fascinating man. It truly is very fascinating. We got some slappers coming next season. Do y'all know that we're between seasons right now? There will not be an episode on Tuesday, and not on a Tuesday for a while because we are between seasons. Season 5 has ended. Season 6 is coming. Yeah, we are going to dig very deeply into Hussein Chalayan in season 6, and it is gonna be they all slappers, bro. It's gonna be really good. Oh yeah, right ear reveal. Nope, I can't show you. I'll show you next week. I promise. I promise. I can't show you now. I want you to come to the stream next week. Sign up for my OnlyFans. My right ear is all over my OnlyFans. It's not here though. Well, I'll show you next week, maybe. I'll show you a little bit of my right ear next week. It's very weird that you guys call me dad when I talk like that. I will. Season 6 is my favorite episode of Seinfeld, so it's looking good. All right, bye. I love you guys very much.